Today what I want to talk about is why you guys should never pay any collections. Man, these are the worst people, honestly, to be honest, because they prey on people being ignorant, and they also prey on your ability, and they also prey on your negligence of knowing your right as a consumer. Hey, what's going on, guys? I really appreciate you guys being patient.
Okay.
We've really been taking a little bit of time in getting the next videos out to you guys because we really want to make sure that we're up in the quality and getting you guys as much quality content as possible because you guys honestly deserve it. I love all the support and all the feedback and all the love that you guys are showing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, if you guys are just coming to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you guys subscribe and tap the bell notifications below to get updated on all the latest videos that we're dropping. This is the #1 finance channel on YouTube. Honestly, I can't name a better channel, and I know that's a Fendi fact, so we're the hardest YouTube channel on financial literacy. Nobody's doing it better than us or coming harder than us, so anybody want competition? Let's get it.
So I just dropped the ebook on how to be able to get access to 7 figures of funding with personal credit and how you guys are able to leverage your personal credit. This is going to be the only ebook that you guys will ever need to have on credit funding and leveraging your credit. So definitely make sure you guys go ahead and click the link below to go ahead and purchase this ebook. Purchasing this ebook will allow us to be able to give you guys better content, invest into better camera equipment, and also be able to pay my employees and grow my team so we can be able to take over YouTube and just take over the world. Because again, it's the best financial literacy company, agency, video, channel, whatever. You got it. So definitely click the link below, get the ebook, and it's not going to be that expensive. It's only $39. So basically make sure you guys go ahead and get that. It has everything that you guys will need in order to be able to get access to 7 figures of credit funding that you guys will need for your financial freedom and be one step closer to your financial goals.
Now, what happens really with these collection agencies is that, say for example, you guys have a credit account and it turns into a charge-off or a collection account, right? So what happens is that basically after about 6 months, this collection is basically sold to another company due to the fact that the credit issuer wants to get it off of their books and wants to get a tax write-off with the IRS. So they don't want to get in trouble with the IRS, so they go ahead and actually sell over your debt for pennies on the dollars. So for example, they'll basically go ahead and say if you had $1,000 debt, they'll sell your debt for probably $200 or $100 to these different collection agencies. And with these collection agencies, the reason why they get the loans so cheap is because they buy them in bulk, right? They'll actually buy portfolios of different collection agencies and then go ahead and try to reach out to these people, try to harass these consumers to try to go ahead and collect on this debt. Now, since the original credit issuer actually sold off your debt, it no longer belongs to the original credit issuer. So if you had an account that had defaulted and it's in collection now, and it was with American Express previously, after American Express goes and sells off that debt to these collection agencies, American Express has no legal right to collect on that debt anymore. Now, due to the fact that basically they don't want to get in trouble with the IRS and also double dip, the IRS simply gives them a $2,000 tax credit to be able to balance their books and get that collection or that debt off of their books, so then they can be able to sell it to a third-party company. The reason why a lot of debt collectors and even debt collection agencies, the one thing that they really know that most consumers don't know is that they technically don't have a legal right to collect on this debt, right? Because of the fact, whenever you guys are getting a credit card account, we have what's called a law of contract. Now, simply what that means, right, is that whenever you guys get a credit card account, you guys usually get a contract in the mail. Now, I know you guys probably haven't saw it. Most people don't even send it back, to be honest. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys haven't seen it or aren't familiar with it. Now, basically what happens is that whenever you guys get this contract after you guys get an approved credit card account, so basically you're supposed to technically send back that contract with your signed request or your signed signature, but it's a good thing that we haven't done that, right? And so most people usually don't do this as far as sign the contract and return it back. So what this contract usually states is that it will have a clause in the contract that would allow the credit issuer to have the ability to go ahead and assign this credit card account to a different third party for collection. Since most people don't really know about this contract, and since the contract isn't signed, that credit issuer is technically not allowed to sell over that to another credit issuer for collection. So what that simply means is that whenever the collection agency actually had bought over your loan from American Express or whatever a credit card issuer that the original collection was from, they technically don't have any only legal right because you guys haven't signed anything to be able to collect it from the third party. So that's almost like we're going to say Chipotle, right? So say for example, we go to Chipotle, we go ahead and get a bowl or something like that, whatever you guys like at Chipotle, right? So basically what these credit card issuers and these collection agencies simply do, it's almost like if you go to Chipotle, you don't pay, and then you have basically McDonald's knocking on your door asking you to pay for your money that you didn't pay at Chipotle. It simply doesn't make sense because you owe Chipotle, you don't owe McDonald's or whatever that may be, right? So that's exactly the scenario that we're having. And if I told you that basically this scenario, as far as if you bought something at Chipotle and McDonald's is trying to get you to pay, would you believe it or would you even go for it? Well, most people would just be like, no, right? That's actually crazy because this is actually the same thing that happens with collection agencies, is that these collection agencies, they use these scare tactics, harassment tactics, whatever you may call it. They use all the bells and whistles to try to scare these consumers, and basically they prey on you not knowing your consumer right. They really prey on your ignorance to be able to make money off of you guys. Due to the law of contract, since there's no technical legal contract that has stated that this credit issuer can sell this loan off to another issuer, it technically makes this debt unable to be collected on legally. But the collection agencies, this is the one secret that they really hide out, and after I tell you guys, I might be on their blacklist, but hey, who cares?
What?
So basically, the collection agencies, they know that a lot of people don't know this, so they try to take advantage of this. But whenever you guys get a collection call, right, from a collection agency, I know most of the times it's usually out of the blue, so we're often startled. But I want you guys to never talk to any collection agency on the phone, because simply the collection agencies, they know what they're doing, right? What they're trying to do is get you guys to admit on the phone, on a recorded line, that you guys might know something about this debt or that you guys might be able to pay this debt. That's actually what you don't want to do, absolutely what you guys don't want to do. Again, I cannot stress this enough. When you answer the phone to these collection agencies, do not state anything to them about this being your loan. You might know something about this loan. Don't even talk. What you guys should say whenever the collection agency actually calls you guys is to tell them that I'd love to help you guys out in being able to resolve this. However, I don't want to talk on the phone and I don't want to be recorded. Now, this is going to be hilarious because as soon as you guys say this, the collection agency, they're automatically just gonna hang up the phone. Now, I thought they want their money, Abu. Well, of course they want their money, but at the same time, they know that basically if you know your rights as a consumer, they basically just don't want any smoke, right? So with that being said, what I really mean by that is that when a collection agency knows that you know your right, then they're not really gonna try to push the needle with you. So what they're trying to do is get you guys to basically state that you guys have had any acknowledgement with this debt, and what that does is automatically bind you guys into a verbal contract, which is really hard to get out of after you have already said something to the collection agency. That's why treading carefully and making sure that we know our rights before we even talk to the collection agency is really, really imperative, right? Because if they get you guys under a verbal contract, then you guys would have to go through lawsuits and lawyers and all this to be able to get it off. So basically, what I want you guys to ask them if they go ahead and answer the phone is to tell them that you don't want to be recorded, and if they have a collection that is your debt, to go ahead and get their information, their name of the company, their name of the representative that's calling, right? And the third thing you guys should ask for is for them to mail over their proof that this debt is indeed yours. Now, please don't give them your address, because if this is your debt collection, right, that's technically yours, they should have your address on file, and if they don't, the more the merrier, because it makes it even easier to get the item removed, right? Because if they're not sending it to the correct address, they obviously don't have the right person, which makes it a lot easier to get the collection waived. Technically, I mean, you don't really have to pay a collection, right? Because based off of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which was actually passed by Congress in 1972, in 15 USC 1692 subsection B, it actually states that we have the right to refuse to pay a debt, and as a consumer, we have the right to deem if a debt is actually an allegation or an alleged debt, right? We should always make sure that this collection is actually ours by going ahead and sending over a letter. We always want to make sure, regardless if this debt is ours or it's not, we want to make sure that the debt collection agency has the actual proof, right, to be able to verify that this collection is indeed yours. Because, I mean, let's face it, we all have a lot of things to pay for, and a collection that we possibly don't know about or possibly don't even own, right, is the last thing that we want to go ahead and pay. These debt collectors are literally professionals at extortion, basically. So I like to say that because at the end of the day, they're making people pay for a collection that technically they don't have to pay. Now, whenever you guys send over your debt validation letter. So when we send it over certified mail, what this does is simply provide a tracking number and also gives us a delivery date of when that debt collection agency received your validation of debt letter. So this is really important because of the fact that due to one of the laws in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is actually 15 USC 1692 subsection C, it actually states that whenever we send over a debt validation letter, right, to these collection agencies, within that 30 days of the letter being received, they have to go ahead and provide us proof, and proof is basically a signed contract that states that this debt is indeed yours. Now, a lot of times when these collection agencies, they go ahead and actually buy over your collection, right, from these other credit issuers, they're almost buying it as a portfolio, right? So most of the times whenever they get a lot of these collection files as a portfolio, most of the times they're only getting a bill or any of that sort, so nothing really as far as a signed contract. Because I remember I told you guys in the beginning of the video, the law of contract, how most people, we don't usually sign over that contract that is initially sent over by our approved credit card account. So due to the fact that we haven't signed that, it actually makes it almost impossible for them to prove that they can be able to collect on this debt. Because as you guys remember, that law of contract actually gives the original credit issuer that before they even sold it to the collection agency, it gives them the right to be able to sell your loan to a different third party on your behalf. This usually happens with a lot of medical collections and also credit card accounts where you're getting this contract sent over by mail, but most of the times we're not signing it, right? With auto loans, mortgages, and student loans, a lot of the times you're gonna have to sign a contract, and in that contract, there actually is a clause that allows the credit issuer to be able to assume or transfer that loan to a different third party. So for example, if you guys have a house or a mortgage, right, you guys might have had your loan provider being switched from time to time, and that's simply due to the fact that in that clause, when you guys signed your mortgage, right, is that basically it allows your original mortgage lender to be able to sell it to a different company so they can be able to take over the loan. That's the reason why mortgage loans, whenever they're sold, they're still on your credit and they're not going to be considered as a collection, because that company actually has the ability and the actual proof by a signed contract that you guys signed initially to go ahead and sell your loan to a different third party for them to go ahead and collect on the rest of the loan after your original credit issuer went ahead and sold that loan. Now, with medical collections and credit card accounts, these are different because, again, as I mentioned, they don't usually have the signed contract in hand. So when we're sending over the validation of debt, the credit collection agency has 30 days from the initial time we made correspondence with them to go ahead and send us over our proof, right? Now, a lot of times, again, they don't get tricked if they go ahead and send you guys a bill. A bill is not proof that this collection is yours. And a couple other things you guys should be looking for in order to make sure that this debt collection is even able to be collected on. So another thing you guys should definitely look for is look for the date that this collection was actually started and initiated. A lot of times, different states have different statute of limitations for how long a collection can actually be collected on. Some states have it for 7 years, where a collection that was 7 years ago can't be collected on any longer, or some states have 5 years as far as the statute of limitations. So every state varies, but make sure you guys go ahead and check with your state to make sure to see what your statute of limitations are for your state. So definitely look out for that, because if a collection has already passed the statute of limitations, then they automatically cannot be able to collect on that debt. Now, another thing you guys want to look for is that see if any information is accurate or inaccurate, right? Make sure you guys go through the correspondence or the letters that they send you in detail to make sure that everything is accurate. And even if it's inaccurate by one letter, that collection cannot be collected on because of the fact that it's not an accurate collection or it's not an accurate proof of a debt, right? So this is really important to understand our rights as a consumers, because of the fact that, again, these collection agencies and heck, all of the players in the credit ecosystem, from credit issuers to the credit bureaus to the secondary bureaus, they don't play by the rules at all. And if you guys let them take advantage by simply not knowing your laws and not knowing your rights as a consumer, then trust me, they will, right? Things are already hard enough right now, so I wouldn't want to pay another collection that I didn't even know about or wouldn't even have to have, right? I'd rather use that money to go ahead and boost my credit, or heck, just even take my family out for dinner or whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, don't go ahead and get startled whenever these debt collection agencies are reaching out to you guys, because all they're trying to do is trying to get you guys to fold under pressure. Now, I know you guys are a viewer of my channel, so you guys know a lot better to not fold when debt collection agencies are basically pressuring you guys. We have rights and we have the ability to be able to fight back. And so the main ways that that we can be able to fight back, right, is that if this debt collection is technically not yours, or they don't send you any proof of that's actually viable to be collected on, then what we can do, right, is go ahead and actually reach out to the regulatory agencies such as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is called CFPB, right? This regulates the credit bureaus and every player in the credit ecosystem, along with the Federal Trade Commission. And so what we can do with these two regulatory agencies is file complaints with them that this debt collection agency is not playing by the rules and they're actually violating your rights as a consumer. Now, I know you guys are thinking, Abu, like, who does a complaint anymore? Like, bro, like, that doesn't do anything. Trust me, in order to win their game, we have to use their game against them, right? So a lot of times, whenever you guys are submitting a complaint, these complaints actually get taken really seriously because of the fact that if the complaint is actually indeed valid or verified as the debt collection agency is actually breaking the laws or any of that sort, then basically that regulatory agency will go ahead and fine that debt collection agency and possibly even bring them with a lawsuit. So these debt collection agencies, they don't want to run out of business. They want to be able to go ahead and keep harassing more individuals who aren't necessarily as knowledgeable about their rights, and so they don't want to go ahead and be put out of business. So they'll go ahead and probably cancel out that collection and leave you alone. So that's really important of knowing your rights, because it really allows you the ability to be able to know exactly what to do and not even get startled when these debt collection agencies are reaching out to you guys. Another thing that we can do, right, is that we can go ahead and actually file complaints with the Attorney General, the Better Business Bureau. We can also reach out to lawyers that can file lawsuits on our behalf, right? So if, for example, if the collection agency is suing me for $500, then heck, I'm suing that collection agency right back for $800. I'm including the president, the treasury, the vice president, everybody, because once you guys include the people who are of importance, the, you know what I mean, big dogs or whatever, they get a little scared, right? So they want to make sure that they go ahead and keep their job. So they're going to probably back off, and they don't want to go ahead and hire a bunch of lawyers in order to fight a $500 collection, right? Even though they wanted to wrongfully collect for it in the first place. So just knowing your rights is really important. That's why, like, whenever I'm doing credit repair for my clients or just anybody as far as my mentees, family, friends, whatever, I really try to make sure that they're understanding exactly what I'm doing and also understanding how I'm doing this, because understanding the credit ecosystem is super, super important. Credit really plays a major factor in everything from being able to get a job, right, to even paying higher interest rates if you guys have bad credit. So credit really plays a major role in everything that we're trying to do in America and also for our lives, right? It can affect your ability to even get a job. So if you have a low credit score, a lot of employers aren't going to want you as a candidate to be hired for their job, right? So basically how you guys handle your money does kind of show to a lot of people. Now, I don't believe this, but at the end of the day, people only want to go based off of what they can see. So if they see that you're not managing your money well, then they don't really have too much faith that you'll be able to manage their money or your job whenever you guys get there. Another thing is that you guys will pay extremely high interest rates. Even if you guys get approved, you guys can possibly get denied for houses, auto loans, and even get denied for apartments nowadays. So having your credit intact and also understanding all the different roles and how the credit ecosystem actually works is super, super imperative to be able to leverage your lifestyle and be able to reach your financial goals. Credit is really one thing that's really the one thing you can't do without, right? Credit is really one of those things that it can limit a lot of your moves in being able to get a house, get an apartment, or any of that sort. So you want to make sure that your credit is really intact. And honestly, like, it costs way too much money to have bad credit. You're paying so much more in interest rates. You're going to pay so much more insurance rates. You're going to pay so much more in healthcare. You might not get the best type of positions or even the best type of like placements. So making sure that you guys have your credit intact really allows you guys to get the life that you guys want and not the life that you guys have to settle for. So with that being said, it's literally your right to know everything that's going on with credit and how everything works with the credit ecosystem. You have to understand that the credit bureaus, the credit businesses and lenders, and even the credit collection agencies, they're all in the business to go ahead and make money and profit off of basically people who aren't necessarily knowledgeable or people that are ignorant of the credit system or their rights as a consumer. Now, the credit issuers, for example, they're taking all of this information from the credit bureaus to decide who they give out their loans to, who they give out credit cards to, and also see which consumers are going to be good candidates to go ahead and send them out pre-offer letters and all that so they can be able to make money, because America is really a country where it's run by consumerism, right? A lot of times we go ahead and just spend, and that's really what makes America go round, right? Now, with with credit collection agencies, they also go ahead and buy off all of these collections and different debts from these credit issuers in order to be able to make profit off of people who again are ignorant and don't know their rights. Now with the credit bureaus, their whole job is literally to provide data to a lot of these credit issuers and a lot of these collection agencies so they can be able to make informed decisions on how they want to make money and how they proceed running their business. So you guys really have to hone in on learning credit, and honestly, if there's one skill that you guys should definitely learn, it's how to repair your credit, and not just how to repair your credit, but truly understanding how everything works in finance, because that's the way that you guys are going to be able to reach your financial goals, and you guys will be one step closer to your financial freedom. Now, I did want to say that I have dropped an ebook, right? So I'm dropping this ebook today. It's called Leverage Your Credit to Get Access to 7 Figures of Credit Funding. I know if you guys have been asking for, hey Abu, do you have a mentorship? Do you have a course? Do you have an ebook? Well, we're working on all that. The course is going to be dropping really soon, and it's going to be everything that you guys need to know from A to Z on how to actually build out your credit report, how to repair your own credit, and then also how to get funding to be able to leverage your credit to get the lifestyle that you guys want to go ahead and invest into any business. Now imagine if you guys can get $50,000, $60,000, $80,000, even heck $100,000 to go ahead and start the next business venture that you guys want to start. I'm sure it would give you guys the leg room and the peace of mind to be able to go ahead and actually pursue your passions and your dreams. So that's exactly what I want to show you guys, because at the end of the day, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer due to the fact that the rich have the money to invest when opportunities present itself. So honestly, credit is that gap that I've found that literally is going to equalize the playing field from being able to have any type of money. Imagine you being able to wake up any given day and get access to 50K, 100K of funding for any idea that you want. I mean, at the end of the day, you probably wouldn't stop working. I mean, I know I'm not gonna stop working anytime soon. So I wanna keep going for you guys, get you guys more videos, and really just take over, man. This is the #1 finance channel on YouTube, #1 finance channel in the world, whatever platform, we're coming for y'all. And I'm also dropping the podcast. Don't wanna talk too much about it, but if you guys have liked this video, make sure you guys subscribe, tap the bell notifications below to get updated on all the latest videos that we're dropping. And if you guys have found this video helpful, make sure you guys share this with at least 5 of your friends so you guys can grow together and share different tips and strategies along the way. And one last favor, I need you guys to get me to 10K subscribers, man. Let's go, man. We're at 2K right now. Let's get me to 10K. I want to get 10K by no later than mid-July, so let's make it happen. I'll see you at the top, my guys. Let's get it.
Want to get expert advice on how to boost up your credit, whether it's personal credit, business credit, whatever it may be, then definitely make sure you guys click the link below and sign up for a free consultation with me and my team so we can be able to help you guys be one step closer to your financial goals. We can help you guys out with everything as far as disputing your credit repair, leveraging your credit, and then being able to get higher access to business credit, and also be able to properly set up your business structure so that you guys can get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars in business credit as well. So definitely make sure you guys reach out, and also click the link for a free consultation below so you guys can get help from the experts who know what they're doing.